No recording is in progress.
Well, let's just go with that. Hey, Tim. How
Hi,
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You are stunning. I love
Oh
that
my
top.
God, thank
That
you.
top is so gorgeous.
Ugh, and you're always adorable in your maroon sunny day
I
off.
know I wear this all the time for the podcast, but it makes me so comfortable.
You know what?
Wink,
I
wink.
think maroon is a comforting color for you too.
It is. I love my reds. I love my
It
maroons.
makes your
Yeah.
eyes pop very well. It's always
Thank
cute.
you. Got my
Yeah.
hazel going.
It makes me appreciate my friends.
Oh, appreciation. Fall back. Thank you. Hi.
Call back to the last episode. If you didn't listen to it, go back and listen.
That's right. And if you want to see Tim's awesome blouse,
Oh,
please check out the video version on Spotify or YouTube.
just like a fem top, it's on me. Like,
Tim, I thank you for really getting to the jokes that I'm going to post on our TikToks really quickly. You
know,
make it so easy for me to go. It was within the first minute of the podcast. He said that. I'm going to get that out there.
listen, I am not, I'm the talent. I I'm
You are the
very
talent.
aware
Yes,
of the things that I cannot do, but what I can do is show up and show out.
that's right. Oh, shout out to everybody who loved our snippet of us not being able to do our opening from a couple weeks ago with Kevin. We
Yes.
got a lot of love on that, and it was just 2 minutes of us not being able to do our job, and it was
Listen,
wonderful.
I mean, sometimes we slip up, we fall down, but we got up eventually.
Yeah,
We slipped a lot.
a
It was very
lot.
slippery. Um, but eventually we got there.
That's
And isn't
right.
that part of the journey?
It's
Uh,
all part of the journey, and sometimes it's really fucking funny. So,
and I will say one one thing about Kevin is he can roll with the punches with us,
yeah,
and he is definitely our comfort human as
that's
far as
right.
it comes to the podcast.
Hey,
So,
Kevin.
hi, Kevin.
So, Tim, tell me, you had a little bit of a story this week, something that happened at work, maybe? What's going on?
Yeah, so I work at a place that I will never tell y'all because I always change my jobs because um,
Boundaries.
I'm a Gemini and I'm ever changing. So,
That's right.
um, but one thing I'm not is a particular type of gay. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, I'm not a design gay. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
also not a gay that can do your makeup and all of that stuff. I'm not a drag queen, though I do worship at their feet,
Sure.
touching the hems of their garments every day. But apparently, once you just say, you know, I like it up the ass occasionally, it means that you have some sort of like power over the home and hearth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not me. This week we had a special occasion, and there was food to be brought in to the place that I work. So number one, the person that asked me, she has she her pronouns, and she is very very dominant and very independent, and in a way that's quite off-putting sometimes.
Sure.
Um, and she loves to make it known that she doesn't need help from anybody who is assigned male at birth at any
She
time.
she she don't need no man's help.
Yeah, she doesn't need one.
Yeah.
But you know, I work with a lot of ladies, and
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I always get chosen to help with the heavy lifting of things.
Mm.
If something's too high,
Mm-hmm.
um, if they need help with something that is maybe more gender rolled masculine.
Sure.
I am the first to be called. And I don't know why. Because I think we all can do our jobs just as well as I can. It's not that I don't want to help. It's just like there's a precedent that I'm not needed there.
Mm.
So I just feel like sometimes if you're going to say that, then be about yours. That's
Right.
number one. But then, so I helped her out. But then I was beckoned to design the way that the food is placed in the space. And then she just left.
Oh, so you became the decorator of the
Yeah,
lunch.
because I push poles down my throat occasionally.
Uh,
And
and so you're magical.
yeah, so
Right.
obviously I know how to plan a party or, you know, uh, uh, make sequence come up anywhere that can be
Mm-hmm.
sequenced. Uh,
Sequence and glitter. Yeah.
when the truth is, I don't know anything about that. I
Yeah.
don't plan things. As I said last week, I actually derive appreciation from being planned for. So,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's not my thing. Um, so it was just opening, and then when I literally asked her, I was like, why you have me do it? She was like, well, you're gay.
Oh,
And
she came out and said,
yeah. Well, she didn't
"Oh,
say you are gay. She was just like.
oh God."
And
Okay.
I was like,
Was
uh,
it was this a white lady?
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
A white lady with a bunch of pets and no man. But like um insert drag race. um no.
Wow.
She drives a Subaru and
Yeah. Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
not a part of the LGBTQIAA plus community by any means necessary. Um, but she is butch. So I would just assume if she didn't want help from anybody that she would just do it herself. But
Yeah.
I guess
Every time somebody asks me about their outfit, like, don't get me wrong, I can tell when somebody's done up and going the
yeah,
extra mile. That's fine. But color coordination, is this better than this other thing I was wearing earlier? I
yeah.
have a very much like a you are wearing clothes and I am hungry, so can we leave mentality. I don't have the
This is true.
yes,
I don't.
yes. I don't do that. I don't have that.
Bear does not. He's not the girl for the fashion.
This sweatshirt is in my rotation of a few shirts that I'm wearing right now.
You're welcome.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no.
Yeah, the magical gay stuff, it's like stereotypes happen and pop culture can be a bitch at times, but
Yeah,
I'm
like
not that
I
one.
love that we have representation. I just need representation of everybody,
Yeah, including
including
people who don't give a fuck.
yeah, the people who we might wear slightly stylish things, but we really don't be knowing about shit. Like
No, no.
we just say, "Oh, this looks good. Let me put this on my titties." Like,
Yeah, they're pretty. Okay.
but I'm not saying yes, Miss God. Like the lip liner is popping. No, I'm not.
No,
That's not.
nope.
I don't know what lip liner does.
Their name is Lux Noir London. Go
Yes,
find them.
please go find Raven, not Simone.
Yeah, some Simone.
It's not Simone. Yeah, it's Simone. It's Simone or Simone.
Simone.
Yeah,
Well, we'll ask RuPaul. Apparently, Ru was the only person that could get it right.
no, she got it wrong. It's not Simone. Yay,
No. Oh,
Simone.
okay. Well, you know what? Now I don't even know who she is.
I don't know. She loves to do something. She's from every continent, so it's every other pronunciation. Um. Anyway,
Insert
we have a
insert
great show
insert
ahead.
white man awkwardness. That's right. Tim, we're going to talk about comfort today.
We
Things
are
that make us comfortable, things that give us life and make us feel good.
comfortable in my skin.
That I'm counting down the days.
Cozy.
Um, cozy. But before we do, Tim, you want to kick things off?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tim
And I'm Bear, and this is Cub.
and Chubb.
We did it right for the first time in
Yes.
weeks.
We back. We
We
back.
back.
We back on our shit. Shit.
Got
We
us
back.
thinking.
We back. We back on our shit. Shit. Oh, titties.
This X-rated podcast tells the thing.
I'm gonna be watching.
That's true. Our rating spiked.
Ew.
And we're back. Hello, everybody.
Cozy. Hi.
Cozy with Cub and Chub. Tim and Bear, baby. So, Tim, we're talking about being comfortable, what comforts us, or
Yes.
maybe sometimes things that were uncomfortable. So, let me ask you, like growing up,
Mhm.
did you feel comfortable in your home with your family? Did you have issues with that and who you were? Like, talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I guess the short answer is no,
Mm,
because when you grow up around hyper masculine or even just traditionally feminine uh, women, traditionally masculine men, the church, um, and the Black community as a whole in the 90s. Um,
yeah,
it wasn't a breeding ground for really comfort of anybody, if you
yeah.
want to be honest, because when it comes to, I won't say Christianity, because the design of Christianity wasn't necessarily the way that it is now.
Hmm.
I don't feel that I feel that the way Christianity was supposed to be isn't necessarily what happened. So
Sure.
I can only speak for it and I speak for these things in my life. I feel that in the church, growing up, uh, Pentecostal, apostolic specifically, it's just a breeding ground for secrecy
Hmm.
and doing things uh, away from the eyes of the Lord, i.e., everybody else,
Yeah.
in hopes that you're not judged. So because of that, I, along with everybody else, was very secretive about the things that I felt, um,
Hmm.
the people that I liked at the time, and I never felt, it was always one of those things like, when are they going to find out
Yeah.
that I, I failed at being the human that they thought I was.
Hmm.
Um, and it was a lot of prayers and stuff like that. And we talked about that before, but I don't think we talked about how being secretive doesn't leave you feeling comfortable at all. You're always on edge. You're always trying to mask who you really are with some sort of uh, protective core around you.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very comfortable uh, in my skin as a child. um,
Did you ever can you remember a time or like a was there a part where you started to find ways to be comfortable or was it kind of always off before you left for college or
yeah, so like there were moments where I don't know if I love to sing and my mother loved to sing.
Yeah,
So when
yeah.
I would hear the choir or when I was in choir, or because it's really hard to tone this down. So
Sure.
So there were just parts of me that shone through no matter what.
Yeah.
Um, Going to church every single day, you had to find something that you loved about it. I loved clapping and
Hmm.
like I because I mean, if I had let myself, I would have been a tambourine player.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
because of that stigma, I was like, mm-mm.
Can't do
But
that one.
we could clap.
Hmm.
I loved clapping. It was the best thing ever, especially like just the beats of things. I just enjoyed those times where I could feel sort of free
Yeah.
to express a little bit of myself. Um, and also because, I sang really high as I got older and more comfortable singing around people. Um, that's kind of where I kind of put my comfort in. Is like that sort of, I can't show this, I can't be so me all the time, but I can put this little piece of me into this aspect of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I would say up until maybe the last year of college, I didn't always feel very comfortable
Yeah.
um, being who I am and wanting and expressing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
Well, for me, I had a weird experience because I was a middle child
Mhm.
and the only boy. So I was between two very strong female personalities. You've met my sisters, whom we know and
Hi, love
love.
y'all.
Hello. Um, but they're they were both they both struggled with their relationships with my parents. And so
Mhm.
there was always this really like uh dynamic between them that made me feel like I had to be the good child.
Yeah.
I had to listen to them. I had to not get in trouble, school and friendships and um, because of those dynamics. So it was weird. I never really got the impression from my parents that they would be upset or angry if I was queer. Like
Mhm.
they never came out and said like that's not okay or whatever. Like I never got that. What I got was that internal pressure to be quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Be
So
the shining example of what you should be as a child.
yeah, yeah, that's what I felt, and
Yeah.
I was always a mama's boy from a young age. But then once me and my dad kind of connected on music and expression in that way,
Mhm.
like my dad, I do think of him as mostly masculine and kind of in that vein, but he also likes a lot of music and artists that are very flamboyant, and
Mm.
that was somewhere we can connect on kind of the big
Yeah.
rock star and and showmanship,
Yeah.
like the fact that he loved like James Brown and Little Richard and these kind of like early rock soul singers and like their big show. I was like, or Queen, and that kind of stuff where it's like there are these it's amazing music, but there's this flamboyancy to it that I was like, oh, like he can appreciate that and also be very masculine while also being comfortable and like loving these things. um so I was pretty close with both of them growing up. But again, because of that dynamic with my sisters and those struggles, I was like, I gotta stay on the straight and narrow. That became easier as dad discovered my history and on web browsers. And that became a non-topic, right? Like he was like, I know what's going on here. um
See, I was so glad to have baby boomer, like early baby boomer parents,
yeah,
because they didn't know nothing about a computer. They had
yeah.
no idea about Kazaa and the things that you could just
Hmm.
save. I had a I think I had like a Ben Affleck, like somebody had like had him in the buff, and
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
and I just kept that as wow, that's something to look at.
That's right.
Um, and that was weird. I couldn't imagine if my mother found that I would have died. Like,
Yeah, when dad. So I think I don't know that I told the specific story, but the way I found out dad was aware of my browser history.
mm,
I was in an argument with my sisters about the amount of time and what they were doing on the internet.
mm,
Like I was online, like I think at the time I was trying to do a book report or something, and we had the one phone line. It's dial-up time,
mm.
so I couldn't get online to like do whatever I needed to do. So it was like, you guys are like on there wasting time and blah blah blah. And Dad kind of chimed in and said, "I don't think you should be telling anybody what they're doing on the internet."
Ooh,
And that was the only comment he ever made about it. But immediately it was like, okay, so you know what I've been doing,
yeah,
and so, but it was also a relief. You know
mm,
what I mean? Like he didn't.
yeah,
He never like besides that joke about me. He was more upset with me that I was getting on the girls, right? About
yeah,
he wasn't mad what I was doing. He never told me that he knew. It was only when I was passing judgment on them that he was
yeah. He
like,
was like,
maybe you shouldn't do that. And I was like,
maybe
yeah,
your glass ass house should stay quiet.
right, right.
Like,
And I'll always love dad for I'll always love dad for that type of parenting.
yeah,
It was like it was always you do you unless you are affecting or hurting other people, and like Pat, like he was just like, don't
yeah.
do that.
See, like my parents didn't have to say that they were against it. I
Sure.
was at the church and they were hollering and screaming when the preacher was like, "Gay ain't the way," and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Ah, yes." And I
Right.
was like, okay, I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to me, because I'm dumb, I should have been typing this shit out instead of writing it in my journal. Because back in the late 1900s, people, we actually wrote things down.
Yes, we did.
We had journals which were empty pages that we wrote into, and I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Mm-hmm.
mother found my journal. So she found, when I mean, I don't know when she found it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it probably was around like 14 or 15. That's when it got spicy.
That's when. Oh, that's when the. Oh
Uh,
no, Judy Bloom. What you writing about?
listen, that's when we started, realizing things, and
Mm.
it went from praying the gay away to, praying and experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
things changed in the old Jaquavius, which is one of the names that I named my journal. That I named my first pet. That I named. Yeah,
Jaquavius. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Let me stop before somebody gets my security questions.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well, oh my god. Um, so what about now, Tim? Like, what are some things that you do in your life now to create comfort or find comfort? Like, what are some of your go tos?
well, I do a lot of eating.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
When I eat, when I'm, needing comfort in some way, I I go for food first generally.
Okay.
But I don't know. Sometimes like I can just do certain or go certain places and I feel comfortable there and I have a sense of like comfort. So a lot of times a sense of security can make me feel comfortable.
Mm, okay.
So when I see, talk to, am around, 6'5" and above men.
Mm.
That makes me feel very comfortable and secure in wherever I am. I love going to empty rooms and
Mm.
like sitting in the corners of them, like specifically in usually the right bottom corner of a room. I
Yeah.
love to sit there, sometimes sing. Um, in my life, I try to create comfort um, in being a minimalist. The less things in a room make me feel very like calm and like at peace. Uh,
Mm.
Light colors, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I enjoy creating a space of comfort for myself. Um, I'm not a design gay, but
As noted.
I do I do know what makes me feel good. It makes me feel like together.
Yeah.
I work in different places at different times, and I have to master making comfortable spaces for myself
Yeah.
often. So I find that I do that pretty easily.
Nice.
What
Yeah,
about you?
especially with traveling and everything, it's like you've got to be able to
Yeah,
master that
exactly. You
to
have to
find.
you have to be able to feel home very quickly.
Yeah.
um, and especially where I am now, I am very, very comfortable here.
Yeah.
So much so that I don't really go out. But that's another podcast for another day.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes. I
but
hear
yeah,
you, baby. I hear you.
what do you do to make yourself feel comfortable?
You know, I had a really great um, example of thinking about my comfort because we traveled last week. We
Mhm.
were at Al's parents' house for a week, and let me be very clear: I was not uncomfortable at their house.
No.
They have a very lovely house. They're very welcoming. But what's interesting is you have those. Me and Al have been living in this place for like 3 years now. We
Mhm.
have our rituals.
Yeah.
We have our. This is what we do to wind down. This
Mhm.
is this is what we do to connect. Um, and being in a space that is not our home, again, not being like uncomfortable, but just not being able to do those things
Yeah.
in that space, like you
Yeah.
create.
And in those ways that you would normally do that.
Yeah, yeah. So we have our ritual where every night we sit down on the couch together and we do our TikToks. You have been witness to this.
I have.
So
Yeah.
we send each other TikToks all day, and then at the end of the night we share them with each other, and it's our time to connect and just laugh and be silly and just wind down before bed. And we did that at their place, but like the TV's different and the couch is on a different angle, and
Yeah.
and also like we're I want to like get up on them, but we're also at
Yeah.
his parents' house, so you don't want to be like so it's all that kind of stuff and trying to find like those rituals that you find comfort in and having to modify them because you're traveling, you're on vacation, whatever. So that was like I as somebody who prior to living with you for a couple of years and now Al for a few years, somebody who lived alone and didn't really have rituals
Yeah.
like that or with somebody else. That's been it's been interesting to think about what brings me comfort and
Mm.
keeps me balanced, right? In those
Yeah.
ways. The other thing for me is extremely loud music that shakes like that I feel.
Mm.
So I like
Bass.
when no one's in the car with me, my music is extremely loud.
Yeah.
When I'm working out, my earbuds are and I'm not saying that people should do this. There are definitely like
We are not doctors. We
we're
just
not
do what
doctors.
works for
Yeah,
us.
there's
This is
definitely
comfort
dangers.
for
This
us.
is comfort for us. There are dangers in some of these things at listening at high decibels, but I just I see the colors, I see the music video I'm directing my head when I feel it in my body. And so listening to those things at low levels, it's almost annoying to me. It's
Yeah. It's
almost
like a
annoying
little
that,
buzzing. Like I don't like that.
yeah, it's like I don't like Whitney at 20 decibels. I need Whitney at 100. And when she's just like, oh, I want to dance with somebody, I'm like, no, 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 no,
To
no.
dance.
I want to dance right now with everybody. Um, so, so that's a big comfort thing, and along with food too. We've talked a little bit
Yes.
about that before, but food and is a huge one for me. And again, as I'm working on this journey, trying to find ways to include food, whether it's making it, so I have more control over what's in it.
Mhm.
I can still find comfort in it, but um, still working on that journey, as we all are. You
Oh,
know,
girl.
yeah.
I'm trying.
Try every day. Um, Tim,
Every day is a winding road.
that is the second
Then
time that song has come up in something like this week. I haven't heard that song in years, and somebody else mentioned it the other day. I'm
yeah.
like, Cheryl Crow, is she having a moment? I don't.
That was definitely a different key. Everybody, I am well aware.
Every song is.
Every day. I know the key.
You know where
But
it's at.
like
You know where it's at. Everybody, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
bye. Every day is a winding road.
We're gonna get this episode kicked off the fun. Everything in the sun.
That is not how it goes, but it's even better now.
It's even better.
Somebody needs to put that on, like, I don't know what the beats per minute should be.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say this is what demonetization sounds like, but I think it was so bad. Like they're like, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, bad. That's uncomfortable.
I was specifically talking about my verse in that one. I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
Didn't mean to drag you down. Um, Tim,
drag me to hell.
drag me. Tim, what brings you out of your comfort zone? What are things like you're definitely probably not going to be able to be comfortable, find comfort if you are dealing with these things? What's something like that?
So I'm actually about to deal with this tomorrow. My hair is looking a particular type of
Mm,
unkempt,
mm,
and I'm about to go to the barbershop.
gotcha.
And that is a very, very uncomfortable place for me, for multiple reasons. The main reason being um, the masculinity of it all. I'm not
Yeah.
going to say that it's toxic because, you know, people who are naturally masculine and in a traditional sense, and they truly are those people, they need a place to be. They deserve to have, a therapeutic place to go that they can feel comfortable saying the things they want to say. I would much rather than say that at the barbershop than on Twitter or,
Mm-hmm.
or some other place that's going to really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because we all have hair that grows and it grows out and we need to get it, changed and crimped. And unfortunately, I do not know any LGBT friendly barbers out there
Mm.
that I feel that I have gone to that know my hair texture. My hair is very coarse, it's very thick, and it's curly. And it's the people that I've gone to that maybe would make me mentally and emotionally feel comfortable don't always have the techniques for my physical hair. So
Yeah, no, I think when you talk about the what you go through trying to manage and deal with your hair,
yeah,
as much as I uh, sympathize with what you go through, I also think it's a really great example to try to explain to people about intersectionality. What not intersectionality, but is that the word I'm looking for?
yeah, it is.
Like,
It's like there's a lot of things that go on being black and
Right.
also LGBTQIA
So
because
black,
we do exist.
queer, and then on top of that, even finding it's one thing to find somebody who's competent in dealing with black hair, but also
Yeah,
the number of different types.
yeah,
Like and that you even get along with enough that you want to do. Like there's so many levels.
because being in the chair is another like I'm socially awkward with people I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And seeing somebody once every 3 months is not a relationship meant.
Right. Right.
Maybe, and partially maybe that's my fault. Maybe I could go every 2 weeks, but I'm not spending $60 every 2 weeks if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes more because I do
Mm-hmm.
tip well. Um, but it's just an awkward moment when you have this person who you don't really know talking about like how's your day going? Well, it's going well. And I'm and unknowingly, well, sometimes unknowingly, but because I'm learning to live into this body. I'm learning what it means to live in this body and fully encompass my own energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know when I'm feeling uncomfortable. I know when I'm putting on like uh codes. I know when I'm quote unquote code switching.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you will you butch
Um,
up if you go to
yeah,
a barber
and like
shop? Yeah.
even and I'm not saying I have to. It's just an innate. It's almost an innate thing
Oh yeah,
at
yeah.
this point. And oh shit,
Oh, girl, get it? Okay.
no.
It's okay. We can
Anyway,
pause if you need
shout
to.
out to him. He knows who he is. Um,
Mm.
but no, it's just it's very it can be very draining
Yeah,
trying to get the basic necessities for my hair because I if I just wanted to grow it out, that would be one thing and it would be
yeah,
fine. I would just and for a long time that's kind of why I did grow out my hair is because I just didn't want to go to the barber
yeah,
because it is an uncomfortable situation. Um, but I don't want to do that. So I guess I'd need to do more research to find LGBT friendly barbers who are versed in cutting the type of hair that I have and um, also understand like what I want because not everybody wants, all these all these different types of hairstyles that are not everybody wants to look like Tegan and Sarah.
right.
Some people just want to look like they could be somebody's cousin at the family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool. But I think nowadays I find that more barbers are into the less traditional cuts,
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is yeah, they like the Instagram things,
Mm-hmm.
like which is great. I just don't want that for me.
I don't want that. I don't need that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess I need to make more of an effort to find if anybody knows any um let me know. I'm not going to tell you the location I'm at. So, just I might be willing to fly if the price is good or if they're that good at their job.
Mm-hmm.
So just let me know. What are you doing to groom yourself?
Yeah.
Who are you using?
Yeah.
Um,
Reach out. Yeah. Send us an email at wearecubandchub@gmail.com. It'd be
yes.
wonderful.
But that makes me feel uncomfortable to go to the barbershop. It also makes me feel uncomfortable to go back to my hometown.
Mm,
Um, that is a source of a lot of pain for me.
sure.
Both because of my uh, childhood secretiveness
Mm-hmm.
and for other reasons. Um, but that makes me feel uncomfortable. Sometimes having to go out at all, like leave, like have I love these self checkouts because cashiers sometimes can say some really outlandish things, like some like really spicy things, and I'm like, just ring up my stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't need you to comment on why I need, fleet. Like just bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like that sort of thing sometimes makes me feel uncomfortable. There's a lot of things that make me feel uncomfortable because um I've lived in this COVID land for a long time and I've gotten comfortable being with me and only me.
Yeah.
So when I have to go outside of that, it can be uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
yeah, what about you?
Uh, I'm struggling with being comfortable in rural areas of our country, if you will.
Yes.
And when I use the term rural, I don't mean that specifically in any kind of derogatory way,
No.
but um, you know, we have a family reunion type thing coming up in September,
Okay.
and we haven't done one of those in a very long time, and it would be in the western part of the state. I think I've mentioned that I'm in Richmond, so I don't think that's a big deal. But um, we would be going to a rural area for this reunion,
Hmm.
and we used to do these reunions like every couple of years. We used to do them pretty regularly, um, and we haven't done one in a while. And somebody's like, "Hey, we should do one." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." But it feels different being who I am now, open and out, and happy and proud,
And an adult.
and
Yeah.
an adult
Yeah.
um, who who can speak up for themselves. And I'm not a confrontational person, but I also am not going to let shit slide if somebody's
Yeah, like
being.
you pay your bills, you shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's this part of me that's like, even driving up to visit Al's family, we went rural back roads and going through these small towns and
Mhm.
stopping for gas. I have one hat that fits my head. Doesn't even really fit my head. I had to like make it work. But I love this hat, and it's
Mammoth
this.
heads. I sent you the thing.
You did. I gotta do some more. Oh, it's right here. Look at that. So it's this little.
Oh,
So what it is that it's this Columbia outdoorsy hat, and it's the American flag in pride colors with trees and stuff. Okay, so I wear it all the time. And
yeah,
here in Richmond, I don't give a fuck. Like, right? But at the Wawa in the middle of nowhere, I don't know if somebody's going to see that and be A, offended that it's not representing the flag properly. Oh, you guys are queer.
yeah,
It's that kind of like, I don't, I assume I'm not welcomed, right? There's a
right,
bias here I'm dealing with that is probably really unfair.
yeah,
Um, but I'm also dealing with things like, when we would go to visit family in these areas, and you would hear comments about my nieces and nephew, you know,
mhm,
who are black, and
yeah,
those, whether microaggressions or flat out racism, like either way, it's that kind of thing. I'm like, do I want to bring my boyfriend to rural Virginia
yeah.
and go through that either with him? I don't know. And I was talking to my cousin. She's married to a black male. Their kids are black, and she's asking me, and she's like, "Are you going to this thing? Because I don't know that I want to put my kids through that." You know what I mean? And I'm
So
like,
this is the thing. Like, I think a lot of millennials are going through this,
yeah,
where they are literally cutting parts of their family off
yeah,
because they are experiencing racism, classism, um, just all types of trauma.
yeah,
So it is I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying whatever makes you happy is what you
right,
should do.
yeah,
And if it doesn't make you happy to see, such and such because they have the propensity to be a specific type of way,
right.
then that your presence is a present.
Right. No,
Like,
it's that torn. I want to see some of these family members I haven't seen in years, and
yeah,
but I also don't want to go into the Piggly Wiggly and deal with anybody's bullshit, right? So,
listen, I'm not going
um,
to go see no. I'm not doing that.
but I do want to be honest. I want to be honest with the fact that there is a biasy that I'm dealing with. I'm making
Yeah,
an assumption that it's me against everybody else,
yeah,
and some of these people have very terrible points of view, in my opinion, and are vocal about it. Some of
yeah,
these people are conservative and just want to exist and won't say anything
yeah.
because they're like living. A lot of these people are live and let live type of people as well,
Mhm.
and good for you. So that's one of the things around comfort. It's like I know where I'm comfortable at, and I know that's the other thing. We're in a southern state, so even in Richmond, you're dealing with these transgressions in certain areas, but
But they live on Monument Avenue, and you can just leave them alone. Like, it's
you
fine.
know exactly where they're at
Like,
in town.
you know, you're not gonna go specific days to the Elk Lodge. You're just
Right,
do
right.
that.
You just stay away
Like,
from that part of town. We all know.
yeah, don't go to, you know, if you're black, don't go to most things.
Right.
But
Also that. Um, yeah. So we'll see. We've got a few months before that happens, but
because you
that's
also have to think like that you're putting your partner through that too.
right. And so as much as again, I'm not a confrontational person. I will bite my tongue until I can't.
Yeah.
Um, he, on the other hand, does not mind letting people know when they're being dumb, and so putting him through that would also mean like he putting him in a place where he'd have to.
Yeah.
I know him, right? So, but he's also like, I'll go. I don't care. I'm like, I know you don't care, but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
it's one of those things where yeah, I know I, I'm all for like family and stuff. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm all for family. I'm all for love. I'm all for togetherness
yeah,
at the rate that you can respect everybody.
right, yeah,
If you don't like something and that it's being seen, go somewhere else.
hmm
like
move,
like
yeah,
you don't have to make it awkward. There's a lot of room for everybody usually at these functions. If you're disgusted by something, I'm disgusted by your wrinkles, but it's not like
but
you know,
I'm being respectful.
like I'm being respectful,
I'll give you some
you
serum
know.
recommendations if you want them.
Exactly. If you need it, I can order it for you because I know
Hmm
you're not good at this technology thing. So like and that goes for young and old. Like if some young people are disrespectful to, the elders, you can say the same thing to them. It's like if you don't like this portion, you don't have to be there.
Yeah,
Like you yeah.
yeah. No, the normalizing of cutting people out,
Yeah.
regardless of blood status,
Exactly. Especially
is
because of blood status.
sure.
Because
Yeah,
you feel like you're not entitled to anybody
no,
or anything just because I came out of a womb that you were related to.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody is. If you deserve a relationship, then we'll have one.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. But
Take care of yourselves, people.
listen, your mental state and the love for yourself is most important.
Yeah,
Betraying yourself will hurt you a lot more than not being somewhere where somebody feels entitled for you to be.
yeah. Oh, okay. We're gonna take one more quick break, and we'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Give me a break. Right.
You're gonna get it. When the millions of people listen to this and we get sued for all of the copyright
First of all,
material.
that wasn't even fit. That wasn't 5 seconds.
That's true. You kept it short. You kept it short. That could have been
Yeah.
anything. That could have been anything.
I mean, It could be, something from Sunnydale.
Oh, Sunnydale. Oh my god. Bye.
Bye.
We're back, everybody. Hello again.
Yes. Hey, hey, hey.
It's about that time, Tim. You got somebody you want to shout out this week?
Well, yes, I do. I've shouted them out before, but I would like to shout out my friend Danelle. Um,
No.
Congratulations. You just got your doctorate.
Oh my
You are
gosh.
amazing. That is nothing short of black magic. Like
Hmm.
it is. And I love the journey that you've gone through, and you're such a wonderful person, and I adore you. Congratulations and shout out to you.
Congrats, Danelle. Oh, that's awesome.
I am
Yeah.
so excited for the journey ahead. I love them. Mwah.
Mwah, congratulations. Well, Tim, what's making you live this week?
Girl, so I have been on this drag binge for a little bit.
Hmm.
Whether, and I think it's because, the political climate that we're in, I'm kind of like wanting to tip the queens more and like I'm going to, if I find something interesting on TikTok or YouTube and it's like touched me in some way, I'm finding their Venmo, their Cash App, and I'm tipping them. Because drag is not a crime.
That's right.
It's an art form. Um, but I've been looking at a lot of bearded queens lately.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they are like, I can't shout out anyone in particular because they're all so good.
Yeah.
It's just such a juxtaposition of masculinity and femininity and like fierceness
Yeah.
that is just so cool to see. And I just love them. I love it. So
Oh,
I'm
that's awesome.
living for bearded drag.
Yeah, I would. When we were talking about what we might do and dress up and do for the Beyonce show,
Mhm.
I fell down a bit of a bearded queen rabbit hole,
Yeah,
and just magnificent stuff. So,
super
have
excited.
we ever had a bearded queen on RuPaul's Drag Race, like a
Um,
contestant?
Never had a bearded queen, but there has been bearded drag on the runway. So we
Okay,
had Milk do a little wisp type of thing. We had
so
a
they incorporated into the
yeah,
runway, but not somebody who was doing bearded drag
yeah, no.
24/7.
And then on season 7, there was a bearded drag runway theme. So
Gotcha. Okay, awesome sauce. Well, good stuff.
also, I am not okay. So
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot, I forgot about this. I do like drag. I
Yeah.
do like drag, but I don't want people to sit here and think that I'm a drag connoisseur because I'm not, and to I don't want to position myself in that way
Mm-hmm.
because there are actual people out here who are making their lives work about recording and um critiquing the queens in
Mm-hmm.
that way. And they are good at what they do. And
Yeah.
I somebody asked me last week, they were like, do you ever think you would do like YouTubes about drag? You see a lot of people, with that sort of drag news type.
Mm.
And I was like, no. And they were like, why not? And so like it made me feel like people think I am an end all be all of some sort of like drag news, and I am not.
Oh yeah. No, no,
Like
no.
yeah, I'm
That's
not.
not what we do.
I love the art. I am appreciative of the art,
Yeah.
but that's where that stops. Yeah,
No, I got you. Understood.
yeah. So like, support all drag, support all the girls who are, in the news of it, recording it, telling you about it. Support all of us. Support everybody.
That's
Yeah.
right. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
So what are you living for?
um, I am living for like reconnecting with my friend groups and like
Mm,
making plans.
yes.
So I'm really excited because next weekend, by the way, programming note,
Ooh,
Tim and I will not be recording a normal episode next weekend, but we will have a little mini episode for you guys. Um,
no.
oh my god! Yeah, no, I will be on the road next weekend, and there's just not a great time to do it. But we will have a little episode for you guys, so tune in because we will have something for you.
I know y'all love
Um,
our mini chubs.
that's our little mini chip. I'll be traveling to go see a concert, but I'll be going to visit a number of people I've not seen in person for some in years. Some of the people that are going to be there I've not seen since COVID started. And I'm super excited to see them. I'm excited
Mhm.
that you and I made like last minute plans to see each other in the next few weeks.
Yes.
So I'm gonna
Super
go visit you at
excited.
your undisclosed location.
Yeah.
Um, and that's exciting because we have some plans, and I'm just excited to see all my people. So
Yes.
that's what I'm living for. Reconnecting with the friends and um, yeah, making plans for the summer. Oh, I got booked for my first like queer DJ event. I'm so excited and
Yes. Shout
slightly
it out.
nervous. Slightly nervous. Well, I was asked to do a queer prom. So there's an organization in Richmond. I will shout it out after I get permission to, just in case. But
Yeah.
there's a queer um, organization in Richmond that is putting on a queer prom for
Aw.
teenagers who may not have the space to do that at the regular prom.
Not
So
a heartthrob high. Oh
I'm yeah.
my God.
So super excited about that. That's coming up in the next few weeks. So I'm working on that playlist because I'm trying to make sure I'm playing songs that these young kids will know. I don't know that my 80s, 90s gay music is gonna hit them the same way.
Well, I will say this. Most of their music sounds 80s and 90s.
They're listening to throwback style music. It's just maybe Dua
Just be like,
Lipa.
this is what
Yeah,
the sample was from.
that's right. That's
Just
right.
letting you
Dua
know.
Lipa stole this whole catalog from Kylie Minogue. So I love Dua Lipa. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's what I'm living for. So
Yes.
Tim, where can people find us?
Where you can find us anywhere you can find the sun of
Mm. Wait,
uh,
what was that last part?
the Son of God.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You could
So
find him
you
in
can
these spots.
find him on Facebook. You can find her on YouTube. You can find them on uh, the wings of a dove.
That was supposed to be
Twitter.
Twitter. I was like,
You can find them on the Wretched Twitter.
the wretched.
You can also find them, in the wind,
Also on the
in the
TikToks,
Tiki
the
Talkies,
Tiki Takis.
because we love TikToks. Hopefully, y'all are looking at our TikToks because they are fun.
Yeah,
They're good stuff.
yeah.
Sometimes you get a little musicality. Sometimes you get, the Bassianas. You get the hi cubbies and chubbies, and you also get, the lovely uh cub that is there.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And you
Oh,
can find us at all those things at Cub and Chub.
yes, at Cub and Chub, please.
At Cub and Chub.
That is CUBANDCHUB
That's right.
with the at symbol.
Also, me and Tim are discussing some different ways to help promote the podcast, including maybe doing some advertisements, which would be a lot of fun, advertising the podcast on other podcasts on other platforms. And if you'd like to contribute, if you are listening through our Spotify app, there is a subscription and like donate button. So if you have any interest in donating funds, would love it. Thank you so much. You can do that there,
Yes.
and we will use those to help build the podcast and take it to the next level. So,
Yes, so
um,
you, your friends, and the stratosphere will be listening.
That's right. And you can also support us through our merchandise, linktree.com/cubandchub if you're looking for that link.
Yes, get that
Um,
cute merch.
so cute. Tim, as always, so good to see you.
Oh my God, it's always good to see you. I'm so excited that I get to physically see you soon.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Everybody, have a good week. We'll see you next time. And thank you so much. Mwah.
Bye. Wrap it up. Drink your water. Mind your business.
Bye.
Driving
Bye.
my crime.